fusion warm-up has started, so I ultimately need to decide, is she a champion that I'm going for? For today's video, I'm gonna break my account down and take a look and see if this fusion makes sense for me to actually go for. Hey you guys, it's Cece. Welcome back to my channel. With the new fusion that is going to be coming out, we have the event warm-up started, and I have myself think, is she a champion that I want to go for? And I know I'm not the only one thinking this. Others have also asked, like, oh, should I go for her? Should I hang on to resources? What should I do? Now, part of the reason I was considering going for her would be that since I have multiple accounts, I can't keep up with every single fusion on both accounts. So I've been kind of taking turns and swapping and going with my luck. So on this account, I've gone ahead. I'm trying to collect the turtles as I can. Gotten Raphael, Donatello, Michelangelo. My other account, I did not. So that one, I did not actually go ahead and get the other, like that one only has Michelangelo right now. And I'm okay with that. Like I would love to obviously get it on both, but I know realistically, I can't make that happen. So I was considering getting this fusion on my other account and going for her. Now I'm still thinking about it. I don't know, because I might just hang on to it for another potential champion in the future, especially because these like fusions I find take a little bit more work, you know? Like fragment fusions are, I think, the easiest, but when it's this type of a mixed fusion, definitely takes more work, more resources and everything. And I just don't know if my resources are really there or if I want to hang on to it and even potentially save it for something else coming up. I mean, I guess we'll wait and we'll see. I said it before, though, I do think her as a champion, she looks really cool, though, to be fair. But I also think that in terms of where I can actually use her, is it something I'm really lacking? Is it somewhere I'm really lacking? That's where I'm kind of unsure of, you know? Like, am I really lacking champions for that? Can she bring something into my team? And I think that's kind of where, like, I'm definitely not the only one where we're asking ourselves, like, what is she going to be able to bring to my team? And how is she really going to be able to help me? So that's kind of what I'm thinking of when it comes to this new champion that is coming out right now. So, I mean, we'll kind of see. I'm also curious to see actually how the epics are going to be that are going to be coming out with her, since she is going to be this type of a fusion. Maybe the epics will be somewhat worth it. There's definitely been champs in the past where they've actually been really good, and they've kind of been the ones that it's like, okay, I might not go for the legendary, but maybe I will go ahead and go for the epics instead, kind of thing, you know? I did decide to actually hop onto the account, so this is the one that I would potentially want to go ahead and get her for. And some of the things I'm considering on this account is who I really have in the undead horde, and on this account it's lacking a little bit, and I think she has the potential to be a pretty good champion for something like PvP, especially with an irresistible true fear. That's one of the things that's kind of enticed me into her as a champion, and there's a few champs I think she could potentially work really well with. I mean, her and Fabian together, for example, I feel like we could get something going in there. I mean, the True Fear debuff would be, it's huge in PvP, right? It's one of those things, if you can land it, it can be really helpful. And as you guys know, I'm trying to climb more and more in PvP anyways, so it might make sense for this account to actually go ahead and get her then, because now I'm trying to think of, okay, where will I potentially use this champion? Where can she be good? And that's one of the things I'm factoring in. I don't necessarily think she's a champ I need on my PvE team, so I think my ultimate decision would be, am I going to want to include her into my PvP team? It's going to be either yes or no. Do I need her? Will I use her right away? Or is she a champ that's kind of going to sit around? The other thing that is enticing is the fact that she could potentially ignore 99% of a target's defense, plus that stone skin and block damage, because when you run into that, like for me, I find it definitely annoying when it happens. So another thing that I am considering, but it's really the multipliers. That's kind of what we are asking ourselves in terms of the multipliers, and then her passive with that say her name. As I said, the True Fear debuff for 2 turns is really nice, and since it cannot be resisted, having an irresistible True Fear I think could be really fun in a champion. So I think it just really comes down to, do I think she will be worth it enough to really want to bring her into my PvP climbing team, and is she going to make a difference as well? Having another champion I can potentially draft is not a bad thing, and as I've kind of mentioned before, I definitely need to start gearing champions specifically for PvP. So if I have champions and that is the only place that I'm using them, then I think it would kind of make sense. And if I'm being honest, anytime a fusion comes out, I always think of like, what am I missing in Faction Wars? Where else can I use them? So even though I can only use her really PvP, I could also use her in Faction Wars because Lizardman has been my weakest on both, which is part of why I went for Donatello. And now I'm kind of kicking myself a bit. I didn't get Donatello on this account too. But I'm also telling myself I need to start splitting my fusions on who actually gets a fusion for which account, because I don't think it's realistic to want to be able to do every single one for every single account that I have. And if you guys do that, then honestly, like, kudos to you, because it's definitely a lot of work. But I definitely feel like you almost like feel like you miss out if you get it for like one account and not for another, or if you skip it altogether. There is always the chance of actually potentially pulling her though, so I can pull her maybe in the future from something. But I don't know, I'm kind of leaning, I don't know what I'm leaning towards actually. I'll think about it maybe over the next few days. Like, part of me like wants to lean towards a skip because in terms of my arena climb, it's not necessarily that bad. I have champs that have synergy together. They're kind of filling the roles. And since I do have Fabian that does do the True Fear, it's like, am I really missing that? Do I want to work out? Like, she's got an interesting kit, right? We see that the fact that it's like, oh, if it's a turn number that's divisible by 3, you'll do XYZ. Is that something that I want to worry about in a champion? I don't think so, honestly, you guys. I feel like I would just put her into a team and I would definitely not keep track of that. I would let her do her own thing and kind of just see where it goes. And that could be a downfall potentially. That's a lot of like, I guess, taking a risk of who do I want to swap into my team to actually go ahead and bring her. I'd like to be able to show you my live arena team, but this is actually closed, so I can't do that. So we're gonna hop into my regular arena. I'll kind of show you guys. So this is the team that I'm using right now. I have Wukong, Thor, Deacon Armstrong, and Queen of Hearts. I will potentially like sometimes swap some champs out, but picture all this, plus let's add in Fabian because he's the one that I typically will bring along in live arena. More or less, this is my live arena team. However, Fabian gets banned 99.9% of the time. Honestly, it's very rare he goes through. That's where I guess the temptation is to bring this new fusion along for the True Fear, because then I'll actually have the True Fear. But then the other side of that is essentially I'm taking somebody out to add them in. I could do that. Like, she is a legendary attack type. Because she is an attack type, the champ I'd probably swap out would be somebody like Thor, because how many attackers do I really need? I like Wukong on here. I don't necessarily think he's one I would want to replace. Queen of Hearts, again, she has a different role. She's not necessarily an attack type I'm bringing her along for. I have her along for other reasons. And then that's the other thing, is like looking at the champs that I have and who I'm using, because she does have True Fear. So how many champs with True Fear do I really need? See, actually good I'm talking this out with you guys, because I'm kind of realizing, like, how many champs with True Fear do I really need? Because when I bring her and Fabian along, it is very nice. But then I think I'm convincing myself more and more I don't need this fusion. So I think I might actually hold off, and ultimately I don't think I'm gonna get her. It was thanks to you guys. But I don't have anything in my, really? Hang on, we need to maybe do some dailies to get more tokens. Purchase an item at the market. For sure there's something we can get here. There we go. I need more tokens. But thanks to chatting this out with you guys, I've realized what I do not need. So I don't think I actually need her. Now, the other problem I have is that between my accounts, I took a break a bit from one. I focused on the other. And now my arena has like plummeted on this account back down into low bronze. So I'm back into the climb now to get back up there. So don't neglect your arena, you guys. The fact I have to climb all the way back up to gold now. But you kind of see the synergy in this team, like they work. So it's like, do I really need to replace somebody with her? I don't think so. I don't think I'm gonna go for her now. Ultimately, looking at this and realistically thinking about who do I want to replace for her, I don't think it's gonna make sense for me at this time to go ahead and grab this champion. And that is going to be for either account. I don't need her. I will convince myself that I'm going to hang on to everything I have, and I will wait for the next fusion to come around. Because again, this account is not going for Leonardo either. I know I just won't have the resources on this account for it. So that's why I'm telling myself, I mean, we'll see when he comes out, but then it's like, I only have Michelangelo and I only have Leonardo. My other account, yes, we'll go for him. This one, it's gonna hang on to resources and then wait for the next fusion to come around. and see if it's something that is going to be account changing for myself. That is it for today's video. And honestly, you guys, sometimes talking it out just really helps you decide. Now, I think if you do have tons and tons of resources and you can go for every fusion, yeah, it'll make sense to go for her. Otherwise, think about your PvP teams, think about who you are bringing along, if it's going to add some to your account, and then maybe that's going to help you make your decision. But I do want you, comment down below, let me know if you are going to be going for her. And be sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on future videos and future fusions that come our way. I'll see you guys next time. Bye!